what time it is. Oh yeah. Tell me what you want, what you really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. What I really, really want is sing, ha. Be my lover, gotta get with my friends. Make it last forever, and friendship never ends. If you wanna be my lover, you have got to give. Taking is too easy, and that's the way it is. Whoa!
Whoa!
Wow, there is a microphone here.
All right, I was just making sure it wasn't just me seeing this microphone, because if that was the case, then we might be in for some paranormal activities, if you know what I mean.
Oh, Steven.
But lo and behold, this microphone is here, it's tangible, and it's real. So
there it is.
You know what that means?
You do know what that means.
It's time for another episode of American Brews and Tunes.
Yeah!
Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity-beeby-dow!
Wow! Welcome again to another episode of American Brews and Tunes.
Welcome!
My name is Steven Johnston.
And my name is Jesse Titus.
This is episode number 17.
17.
Yes, that is the number, 17. 3 times by Jesse.
Yes.
Well, anywho...
Yeah, anywho, you also know what was 3 times today?
No, I have no idea.
I had 3 bananas today.
Well, that's kind of weird.
2 without peanut butter and 1 with peanut butter.
Let me think of anything I did in 3s today.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
At work, I had 3 beverages.
Oh, what were that? Coffee?
I had a coffee.
Water?
I had a water, and I had a green tea.
Oh, there you go. Wow.
So, there's 3 for you.
That's fairly superb.
3 is a wonderful number.
Wait, you want to know what else comes in 3s?
Deaths of celebrities?
Is that actually a thing?
They say it's a thing. I don't believe it.
Oh, okay. No, what else comes in 3s is the recommendations for the albums we listened to last week.
That's correct.
Last 2 weeks.
That's correct. As most of you know, we each recommend an album for each other to listen to. I normally recommend a punk rock album for Jesse to listen to, and he normally recommends some indie folk album for me to listen to.
Alternative rock, whatever.
But this week, instead of previous weeks where we've talked about every single song, we're just going to highlight the 3 songs that we like the best on each album.
Because again, what we've been talking about in the past episodes is we want you guys to also check out these albums.
So we'll give you a good starting place, and you do the rest.
You do the rest.
You do the rest.
We lay the foundation, you put up the rest of the whatever you're building.
But speaking of going back a half step to deaths of celebrities.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about the musician death? The big one that happened a couple days ago?
No.
Glenn Campbell. Name
Oh,
ring a bell?
really? Yeah.
He's. I'm not gonna say that I know much of his stuff.
I also
listen to
don't,
him
but it
avidly.
rings a bell.
But he is a huge country star. Country
Oh,
singer.
really?
And even more relevant, which you guys will find out in a second, he did a cover of Green Day's "Time of Your Life."
Oh, really?
And so they were posting it this week as a tribute
wow,
to him.
yeah, okay.
So it's kind of cool. So Glenn Campbell, even though he wasn't somebody that I avidly listened to, it's clear that he had a huge influence on the world of music. So once we crack our brews, we'll give a cheers to him.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Give a nice cheers to him.
Obviously. But speaking of the tunes portion, what album did you recommend for me to listen to? Because I kind of forget, even though I've been listening to it for 2 weeks now.
I recommended you the album Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix by the band Phoenix.
Oh, that's correct. Now it's all coming back to me.
Yeah, I hope so.
Ever since you said that name just but 3 seconds ago, it came back as a flood of memories into my brain of all the listening to this album and wondering what it could be about.
Wow.
Because I really don't know what it's about.
That's a great story, Steve.
Yeah, but what have you been listening to the past couple weeks?
I've been listening to a monumental album by the punk rock band Green Day called Dookie. I was actually thinking about this earlier today. This album came out in '94.
Jeez, I was only
when
3.
when I was 3 years old. And I mean, a lot of the songs we are, still listening to today. They're still so popular. And
Popular,
so
relevant, and great.
Yeah. So that is what I have been listening to.
So these are both pretty darn good albums. Well, Green Day's a pretty darn good album. And Phoenix is definitely an album. But it's branching out into the world of music, which is our main goal here.
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to expand your horizons.
Yeah. So
which I'll also be doing with next 2 weeks' recommendation.
Oh, help me, Lord.
So.
But it
might be rough. Well, probably not. They're both good albums, but
we'll see.
Well, I'm going to give you a choice between two at the end of the show. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I should give you a choice then.
I'm not going to tell you the names of them. I'm going to give you a generalization of what they sound like, and then I'll let you pick which one you want.
Okay.
In terms of the sound you want to hear this for the next 2 weeks.
Okay. I'll give you a choice then. Also, I'll do the same thing, but with my rendition.
Okay. Enough about the end of the show. Let's talk about our beers.
All right. Let us.
Let us.
What do you have this week, Jesse?
This week, I have a beer by the, I would assume, world-renowned brewery, at least renowned in my book.
Well, definitely the eastern half of the country.
Well, they're from Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Founders Brewing Company. If you have not heard of them, you're crazy.
And in fact, we both had a Founders beer on the Menzinger's album. We had the Founders Kentucky Breakfast Stout, so you've all at least heard about them if you listen to this podcast.
If you've listened to more episodes, you have heard of them.
Which the chances are you probably haven't. But, what the hey.
Hey, maybe some people have, and that's great. And we appreciate them.
Yeah, if for those of you who have, thank you, and keep doing that, please.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But anyway.
Pretty please.
I'm trying the PC Pills. So it's their
Political
Pilsner.
correctness pills?
I don't really know what the PC stands for.
Well, it's probably political correctness.
Personal cardio?
Polycarbonate?
Polycarbonate is, oh yeah, that's a thing.
Who knows?
Pumpkin chai latte.
If you take out the V in PVC, like polyvinyl chloride.
Yeah, polychloride.
Yeah.
But regardless, this is a Pilsner. But at the bottom of the bottle, it says American Hopped Pilsner. So I'm assuming this will taste a little bit less like a Pilsner and more like kind of session ale. Right. I would think.
When you think Pilsners, the big thing is it's kind of got a root in like German and
like German brewing. We'll say German.
And it's named after I believe it's a country in the Czech area, Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia, whatever you want to call it.
Is it
called Pilsen? And they use the Pilsen malts in Pilsners.
Oh, okay. So it definitely has a distinctive flavor.
There's a lot of fact to what I just said, but I could be slightly off, so don't hold me to the 100% factor there.
Look it up for yourself.
Hey, look it up for yourself. I believe that I'm pretty correct in saying that. But Pilsners are usually pretty mild, a little more bitter than your standard lager, because I do believe a Pilsner is a style of a lager.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, there are technically only two styles of beer. Two types.
True.
Ales and lagers.
That's actually very true, yeah.
A lot of it has to do with how they're fermented. There's a top and bottom fermentation. Ales have to be fermented at a cooler temperature. At a warmer temperature, whereas lagers can be fermented at a warmer temperature, I think.
You just said warmer for lagers.
Who knows? They're fermented at different temperatures. I don't remember off the top of my head.
It's one of the two.
I believe lagers are cooler, but who knows? Look it up. I'll learn something. You learn something new every day, so why not make it about beer?
Yeah. Why not?
The Founders is a world-renowned
brewery.
Great brewery. All of their beers are generally pretty consistent, so that's got to be pretty good, you think,
Yeah,
right?
I would think so. I mean, if I'm going to like a Pilsner, it's probably from Founders.
And I'm not a huge Pilsner fan. I have found a couple that I liked, like that, was that the Urquell Pilsner?
Oh, yeah, that was
super
pretty
good. Stone
really well balanced.
has a Pilsner called the Wussy.
Well, that one's more like a...
It's a little hoppier.
More like a pale.
Yeah, but it's pretty good. But you have to give this one a try and see what you think.
You know what? I will give it a try.
Well, I know you will.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking a local Nashville brew.
Oh!
And I know that I believe you had one of their brews.
Yep, I had their
on the
grapefruit IPA
Correct.
on one of the first episodes.
It might have been I can't remember which episode.
It might have been first or second.
Oh, it was the
Can't
EP episode because it was a can, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
This is, the brewery is, of course, Tailgate, which is a local Nashville brewery that I quite enjoy.
It's very good.
I made a visit to the tap room downtown last week, and I picked up a couple different single cans. Mm-hmm. And I came back with this one, which I'm very interested in. It's called the Drewcifer.
Oh.
which I believe is a mix between the name Drew, which is short for Andrew, and the name Lucifer,
which is short for Luciferian.
I thought it was just Lucifer.
No, I don't think it's short for anything.
Okay, you made that up?
Yeah.
Okay, go. I was going to say Luciferian. What does that mean? So, like, Drew and Lucifer is a strange combination. And if you actually look at the can, there's this guy with a beard, and he's got horns coming out of his head.
So,
slash a halo.
He also has a halo, yeah. So
like a fallen angel, maybe? And he's got a little...
What is that?
coat,
A little
like a jacket with a patch?
Yeah, it's
their logo?
Their logo. The tailgate logo patch.
So I'm assuming Drew, the guy named Drew, is one of their brewers, maybe? Maybe the brewer? Too high. That was too much for...
Probably the brewer.
Yeah. Anyhow, it's a Russian Imperial Stout. It says big, bold, hoppy. Our biggest, stickiest, ickiest, meanest stout we brew. And they started making this after the Tennessee laws changed, allowing breweries to go above 6.2%. So
Praise the Lord for that law
This
change.
is ringing in at a 10.9% with a whopping 95 IBUs, which is a lot for a stout.
95 IBUs. I guess I'll say what mine is clocking in at.
Hey, what's yours clocking in at?
5.5% alcohol by volume, which is, I would assume, kind of this
Average.
for a Pilsner.
Yeah.
And 45 IBUs, so a lot less bitter than yours.
But more than I would expect for a Pilsner.
Yeah,
I'd expect
usually
it to
they'd
be
probably
like
be about 20.
20 or 30, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious to hear about that. Especially
Well,
because it says American hops.
You won't hear about it. You're going to taste it.
Well, they'll hear about it. You'll taste it. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying, dude.
So, you know, as is per usual, every week on this podcast, what say we crack these glasses? I'm sorry, crack these bottles
We will crack
cans
these beers
and put them into our glasses.
and pour them into our very special glasses.
They're very special glasses. We'll tell you about them in a second.
All right.
So here we go. Jesse's got a bottle. I got a can. Ooh, fizzy.
Oh.
Jesse's losing some fizz. He's losing some fizz all over his pants. Oh, geez, don't get that on the carpet.
I know. I try to get it to my pants quick enough.
I don't have a carpet cleaner, and I don't want to have to worry about that.
Don't worry, it's getting on my pants instead. My pants, I can wash those pretty easily.
Yeah, I don't want to have to wash the carpet. Wow, I'm pouring my my brew, and it is dark.
That is dark.
Like a standard Russian Imperial Stout, it is very dark. Do you know the reason why they call them Russian Imperial Stouts?
Does it have to do with the country Russia?
It does. I believe Imperial Tsar. This was like his favorite type of brew.
Oh yeah,
Something along the lines of that.
Didn't someone from a different country make it or brew it and send it to him?
I believe so, and it was his favorite, and so that kind of
And so they
the
called
name
it
stuck. Yeah.
Russian stout. Well, it looks like most of it got in my pants, so I think your carpet's safe, dude.
Praise the Lord, because I am not paying for a carpet cleaner.
What about a Stanley steamer?
That is a carpet cleaner, I think.
Oh, I thought you meant like a professional carpet cleaner.
No, I mean like you got to rent one.
Oh,
I would
okay,
pay
gotcha.
someone. So what about these glasses?
Well, these glasses are very special because Becca made these glasses for us, and they so happen to have our key phrase on them.
Which is?
Shibbity beep a dow.
Yes, which is a very difficult phrase to spell, but
Yeah.
she got it correct, and our pint glasses say shibbity beep dow.
Yeah, so we will later tonight we'll be posting a picture of these. By the time you hear this, we will have already posted it on Instagram. So
Yeah, so we'll post it, and you guys will see. It's a pretty cool glass.
Little housekeeping. If you guys do not know already, we do have an Instagram page
And a Twitter.
And a Twitter. Yep.
American Brews and Tunes.
Yeah, for both of them. So give us a follow.
Yeah.
We post some pretty good stuff, I suppose.
It's hilarious. Hilarious.
Hilarious.
What's your beer smell like?
Mine
Mine smells like straight chocolate.
just kind of smells like like a lager.
Yeah, yours doesn't smell like much at all. Mine smells like chocolate.
No,
and
mine
roast.
smells light.
Mine smells like mine smells like the word that we invented called roasty malties.
Roasty malties.
Remember that
Yeah.
word?
Yeah. It does
My
smell
beer smells like roasty malties.
It has a very significant roasty malty scent.
Yeah, the roasty malties are off the hook on here.
Mine just kind of smells like just like a lager.
Kind of smells like flowers.
I mean, that is kind of what
Floral?
a pilsner's. Yeah, floral. A pilsner is supposed to smell floral. So
Yes.
why don't we clink our glasses, say the magic word, and try it.
I think that's a splendid idea.
All right.
Shibbity-beep-a-dow! Wow. Mine tastes exactly as I expected. Which, a little less chocolatey, a lot more roasty. Those roasted malts are so prevalent. Very heavy.
Yeah, the roasty maltiness is off the chain.
Yeah, this beer
as
is...
it were.
It's not as thick or sludgy as some of those Evil Twin beers that I've had on the podcast, like the Even More Cocoa Jesus or the Liquid Double Fudge. It's not like as thick and sludgy as those ones.
Right.
But it's still, I'd say it's still pretty heavy and thick. But I wouldn't call it, like those other beers, I think I might have referred to them as sweet tar or something along the lines of that.
Yeah, something like that.
Not this one. I'd say it's like sweet mud. No. Maybe sweet mud after a huge rainstorm.
Just slightly different.
Yeah, it's a really good beer. It's pretty smooth. Definitely, I can tell it's a lot more bitter than your average stout.
Oh, really?
I can tell there's a bitterness to it. It's definitely very
nice.
roasty. It's really good. I like it. I would get this again.
I like the idea of that.
And I know they make a coffee version of this called the Coffee Drewcifer, which is clever.
So clever.
I'm clever, so clever.
My beer tastes very how you would expect a Pilsner to taste. In that it is quite... I don't really know the word for it. I don't want to use the word plain, because it's definitely not plain. But if you've ever had like a lager before, you know what a lager tastes like. This is just there's probably a little bit drier.
There's an expected taste for a Pilsner.
Yeah. But I would say this one's a little bit drier. And I would say that it has definitely a slight floral note at the end.
How's like the hop content on there?
Very, very mild. Barely coming through. So I definitely like it. It's very drinkable, but it's definitely not my favorite, both style of beer and also beer. I would say that that one we had before, what's it called again?
Urquell Pilsner.
Urquell Pilsner.
It's an imported beer, I believe.
Is it actually from Czechoslovakia, I think?
It's from somewhere overseas. I can't remember exactly where. And it was the unfiltered version that we tried.
Oh, right. That one was a ton better. But this one's still good, though. Like, it's very drinkable, and it tastes fine. I don't know.
The real test, would you get it again?
I would say that I would get it again if... Oh, I just got another new note flavor. Not a new note flavor.
Another flavor note?
But remember what I said I had 3 of earlier today? Kind of got that same type of banana-y strain of yeast like a Hefeweizen has.
Interesting. I wouldn't guess that from there.
It's like, it's very slight. It's not like as pronounced as the Hefeweizen. As a Hefeweizen, I mean. But still pretty good, though. I would get it again if I was like, I really want like a really light drinking beer for the summertime, and I don't want to get a poopy beer, so I'll get this one, which actually tastes pretty good.
Okay, would I get mine again? Probably not, and here's the reason why. Because Tailgate, the brewery, when you go to their tap room, they've got like 30 to 40 different taps of all unique beers, and so when I go there, probably about half the time I go there, I get a flight of new beers because they're such a small brewery that they've always got different flavors on taps. Like the last time I went, I had an orange mocha frappuccino stout. I had a coconut IPA. All kind of weird things. Like I've been there before where they had a hot chicken IPA. All kind of weird stuff. And it's
right.
And they're constantly rotating. And that's the reason why I probably wouldn't get this again, is because next time I go, I want to try something new.
Right.
And that's the kind of brewery they are. But
well, that makes sense.
let's say if this came from...
well, say it came from Tailgate still, but they shipped it regularly.
Yeah, if I could go to like a grocery store and if I want to pick up a big like hearty stout, I would get this again.
Okay.
I almost wish it was a slightly sweeter, so maybe the coffee one's a little better. But it's still pretty good in my book.
Okay.
You want to do a switcheroo before we get to the albums?
Yeah, let's do a little switcheroo. While we're doing a switcheroo, I would like to say that we just checked in these beers on our favorite beer app, Untapped. And actually, one of our friends, Heidi Pawlikowski, shout out.
Yeah, Heidi.
She lives in North Carolina, or what? one of the Carolinas.
Yeah.
And she actually randomly went to Untapped's
Their headquarters. Yeah. She
And-
sent us a picture. We'll post
Yeah.
the picture for you guys to see what it looks like. It's pretty cool. I wish I was there. But shout out to you. Howdy, Heidi.
Howdy, Heidi.
All right. So your beer is actually
Well,
more hoppy.
You probably can't taste anything.
No, I can taste it. I can't get the subtle notes, but I can definitely like taste the hops in there.
Yeah,
it
yours-
is hoppier than I anticipated.
Yours is definitely more bitter than a normal Russian Imperial. It kind of almost tastes like the old Rasputin.
Yes, which is a
If
really
you-
good
if you
beer.
remember what that
If
tastes
you
like.
guys haven't heard of the old Rasputin, it's a beer by North Coast Brewing.
Yep.
It's another Russian Imperial Stout. Very, very good. We learned about that from our buddy Matt Purnell, who
Yep.
said that was like his go-to IPA. Or I'm sorry,
Stout.
go-to stout.
Shout out to Matt Purnell. Maybe he listens to the podcast.
Highly doubt it, but if he does, shout out to you, Matt Purnell.
Woo!
All right, so we're gonna keep drinking our beers. If anything changes, we will let you know. You want to move on to the music?
Yeah, you know what? Why don't we?
I'll go first this week because I think
okay.
I don't remember what last week was.
I think
but-
I went first last week, so yeah, you can go first this week.
All right. So you had me listen to the band Phoenix,
Yes.
and you know what?
Huh.
You have had, for us being an American podcast, you've had me listen to a lot of foreign bands of late.
I know. My
I listened to
bad.
U2, Ireland,
You two,
Frightened Rabbit. They're
Scotland,
Scottish.
I believe.
Courtney Barnett is Australian, so it's
Australian.
only fitting that I listen to Phoenix, who's French.
Yeah.
And do you know where they're from? Versailles.
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 I believe you're talking.
Talk to anybody from Pittsburgh, and they will say Versailles. You know what's up if you're from Pittsburgh. What's up? It's Versailles.
I believe the word you're looking for is Versailles.
Now, if we're talking,
Because in France they don't pronounce any consonants.
Yeah,
at
France-
at the end of words.
yeah, they don't. French are interesting with their phrasing, but
Yeah.
like the Treaty of Versailles. That's from World War II.
One of those.
One of those. I should bone up on
I should probably know that since
I should
you
know
it's a
my history.
normal world fact to know about
Anyway,
history.
sacré bleu! Les baguettes, les poissons cassons, les French,
Oh gosh.
les Eiffel Tower, what's that? The Louvre.
Yeah.
That's about as French as I'm going to get for you right now.
Arc de Triomphe.
Arc de Triomphe. The cheese and wine.
Oh my
Let's not get
gosh.
involved in any wars.
Oh my goodness, Steve.
Unless it's a French Navy war.
Oh my gosh.
We.
If anybody's listening in France,
Sorry
sorry about that.
about that.
Oh, sorry about that.
Because
eh?
the Canadians are slightly French.
Yeah, French Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
Anywho, what's up with the title of this album? Because the title that Jesse gave me it's called, and the band, once again, is Phoenix. The album's called Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix. And
Yeah.
as you all are probably aware of, there's a famous composer named Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
Yes.
And so when I think of this, I think French meets, like a French indie rock band versus a Austrian classical composer. That's like Phoenix versus Mozart. And when I think of that, I think the first thing I thought of before doing any research was people don't say Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, they say Mozart. And so Mozart's the most well-known part of his name. So if you replace that with Phoenix, that would make Phoenix the most well-known part of the band. You know, that would make them well-known? Does that make sense almost?
I understand.
After reading an interview from him,
Right, yeah.
I understand it
I already
now.
know what you're going to say, but yeah.
He talked about it being like a joke. Like
Yeah.
if you go into a museum and you draw a mustache on a statue.
Like the Mona Lisa or
Yeah,
something
the Mona
like
Lisa.
that.
It's kind of funny. Like, we put our mark on this world famous thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he did.
That's like revered as one of the best, like, Mozart's obviously revered as
High art.
one of the best composers / musicians.
And so they put
of all
their
time.
mark on it in humor.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. It's just like a really childish thing.
So where I thought it was pompous and pretentious, I learned was not at all, and it was just them being goofy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of ha ho 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 ho.
Ha ho hee ho.
This is a Grammy award-winning album. Did you know that?
I did.
Have we had any Grammy award-winning albums on this podcast?
They're all Grammy Award winning in my
Not literally, not literally though. Without doing research, I can't think of any.
I don't think so either. Maybe
I know
we
Green
might
Day's
have.
won Grammys for other albums, but I don't know
Not
about
for Dookie though.
No. So we'll do some research, but I think this is the first Grammy award-winning album we've had on here.
Yeah,
so.
and I actually forgot about that whenever
Yes,
I recommended it.
it
to you.
won the album for Best Alternative Music Album in 2009.
Yes, the year it came out. Yep.
So, let me move into this album. And once again, like we said before, we're only going to outline the top 3 songs, or 4 if that's what you have. The rest we're just going to give our ratings and move on.
Yep.
All right, the very first song is called Listomania.
Do you know what listomania means?
Yeah, I'll get to it.
Okay.
Here's my rating for this. Ladder. And it's a recommendation.
Do you want to go over what your rating system is for this
No,
week?
it'll make sense soon.
Okay.
This is a ladder, and I recommend it. So it's one of the three. It's a great album starter.
Oh, yeah,
it's fast
definitely.
and catchy.
Here's
Here's what the title will reference to, because I doubt many of our listeners will pick up on it, because I didn't pick up on it.
Right.
When they say Listomania, it's spelled Liszt,
Yeah.
like the composer
Liszt.
Franz
Franz
Liszt.
Liszt.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was a German-Austrian composer
Yeah.
who was world-renowned. He was a piano virtuoso, which means he was a phenomenal piano player. Like,
Yeah.
let's think of like who like contemporary would be like a phenomenal player. Like John Mayer's a phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah, John Mayer or like Steve Vai or...
Steve Vai, Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
Even just someone who you'd recognize as a really good instrumentalist.
Like someone who you, whenever you hear it, you're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
That was Franz Liszt back in the day. And so what he's saying is there was Listomania, which means the people were crazed over him. They loved him. They flocked to his performances, which
Yeah.
will go even a little more contemporary, is like Beatlemania.
Right.
Right? Listomania, Beatlemania.
Right.
And so it's
also kind of a reference to like Mozart.
yeah,
like they're both
this
composers
This
and-
like the love from the masses to this one composer, like everyone joining and loving in this one theatrical, amazing player performing and putting on a show kind of deal. So that's what they're referencing there. And if you guys haven't ever heard of Liszt, I would definitely recommend looking up his Transcendental Etudes. Etudes, whatever. I call them etudes, you call them etudes, tomato.
Etudes.
You say tomato, I say tomato, I say potato, you say potato.
I say etudes, you say etudes.
Yeah, so I'm correct, he's wrong. Anywho, we will put a video of some of the Transcendental Etudes below this on our
Etudes.
website, which is brewsandtunespodcast.com. So look it up, go on this episode, and watch that video because it's amazing. I've watched videos of people playing Franz Liszt stuff.
Absolutely
and I'll
insane.
see them like sweating onto the piano because it's so difficult to play. It's amazing.
Yep.
Anyways, back to this song. Listomania is super duper catchy.
Oh, yeah.
It starts out with this piano or guitar. Is it piano or guitar?
I think it's guitar.
Definitely
guitar, yeah.
And it's
Don't.
but there's definitely more than one. There's either one guitar and I feel like it's doubled by a piano.
Oh, you think so?
Just listen to it again and listen to the tone because it doesn't sound like it's just a piano. It doesn't sound like it's just a guitar. It sounds like a unique. It could be. It's super catchy. It draws you in from that like the beginning part, and it's really happy sounding. The vocal melody and the verse. Yes. Very, very memorable. What I like about the vocal melody is he doesn't have one set like line. It moves all over the place, and he's got these weird rhyming patterns. Like he rhymes this one French word that I don't remember off the top of my head in the first verse, but the rhyming pattern switches throughout the verse, which is not an easy thing to do. It's you either have to be born with that or really work at it. So I'm assuming maybe he's got a little bit of both.
I think. Well, they've been a band for a long time.
Yeah, so he's got the talent to do so. It's really cool. And looking up this song, even on my favorite website, Lyric Genius, I cannot tell what it's about.
I don't really know. That's part of this whole album. I don't really know if like they have like a super lot of deep meanings.
Yeah. If you guys know what it's about, send us an email, shoot us a tweet, an Instagram message, or even subscribe to us and email us. We even got an email address at American Brews and Tunes @gmail.com. Let us know because I have no idea what this is about. I like this song a lot. Here's how catchy the song is. Do you remember the movie Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
Do you remember that one dance scene they have where they're just dancing?
I think so, yeah.
Somebody on YouTube put this song to that scene, and it fits perfectly.
Oh, really?
It's really cool.
That's funny.
John Hughes is the guy who directed that movie, and so like in this YouTube video, it's the Breakfast Club and a couple other John Hughes dance scene movies from his other movies. Put the Listomania, and it works perfectly.
That's hilarious.
We'll put a link to that also below this video. So we're gonna have lots of links underneath this video, or underneath our podcast. So check them out. One more side note before I move on. The bridge is really cool. It takes a very different tone.
Yeah.
Where he says, "This is showtime. This is showtime. This is showtime," and it feels like the rest of the song is really happy, really poppy.
Bump, 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 bump.
Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum. It's real like
Then he goes, it's showtime, it's showtime, it's showtime.
it's real like call to action type part
Yeah.
in the song is what I would say. Anyways, Listomania was a great song. It might actually be my favorite song on the album, so everything goes downhill from there. You know?
Yeah, maybe.
On to song number 2, which is called 1901. This is probably maybe their most popular song of all time. It was the only song I knew by them going into this.
Yeah, yep.
I've heard it in car commercials, other commercials. It was in a Super Bowl commercial for the Packers. I do not recommend it. Here's my rating. Shoot. Get it? Shoots and ladders? Because it's either recommended or it's not.
Oh, okay.
And so it's pretty black and white with this review.
That's funny.
On to song number 3, which is called Fences. Ladder. And even funnier side note, when I went to Tailgate and when I bought this brew, I heard the song Ladder while I was in the facilities. I believe I sent you a Snapchat of me listening to this song.
You heard the song Fences.
Yes.
Not the song Ladder.
I'm sorry. I heard the song Fences at Tailgate, and I believe I sent you a Snapchat.
Yeah, I think you did. I don't really remember. Maybe
it was really funny. The beginning of the verse is really blah.
Yeah.
To me, it reminds me of Broken Bells, like that electronic, weird, nothing. But once it gets into the pre-chorus, it's this acoustic-driven portion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the part that really sold the song for me. It's a really sharp contrast to that beginning electronic portion because it's all, I don't want to say all electronic instruments, but then it comes in and it gets much more, I don't want to say spacey, but the space in the mix of the song is real open after the electronic part's gone, and you got the acoustic part coming dun 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 dun, and a song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't do it justice right there, but
that's okay.
When the acoustic comes in, it's got a really cool tone, and it just sets the song apart in the way that I wanted to recommend it because that sold it for me.
Yeah.
The chorus afterwards gets more melodic and catchy, and it's really nice. But it's that pre-chorus that I really like, and I think it only comes back one more time.
Yeah.
But it's a nice part in the song, and it was enough for me to recommend it. So you guys should definitely check it out. Check it out.
Check it about. Check it out.
Check it about town.
Check it about town.
Check it about town. That's my new phrase.
Check it about town.
Why don't you guys check it about town?
Oh, what was that one? Yeah, why don't you go check it about town, man?
The song sings about about women being hard to get, comparing them to castles and fences.
Fences.
Yeah, kind of like women build up walls,
maybe,
and fences are built up. I don't know. Something
maybe
along the
I'm
lines.
not really sure.
I'm basing a lot of this on what I read on Lyric Genius.
Yeah, again, a lot of these songs I really don't know what they're about, but I really like them.
All right, songs number 4 and 5 I'm going to lump together. Mm-hmm. The reasoning is because here's song number 4 is titled Love Like a Sunset Part 1.
Instrumental.
Here's the title of song number 5. Love Like a Sunset Part 2. So I'm lumping them together because when I listen to this song, I put them together. Both of them.
I also kind of skipped
Shoot
them.
and Shoot.
Yeah, I also kind of skipped them. So
part 1, here's what I said. Boring, electric.
Yeah.
Here's part number 2. Catchier, better. And there are words. That's all I have to say. I wish that they would have made song number 2 longer and its own song.
Right. Instead of having the
actually,
instrumental part.
With it being longer and better, it might have been a recommendation because it's kind of cool, but not enough. Anyways, on to song number 6, which is the third ladder.
Nice.
Which is called Lasso.
Like a lasso.
This song starts off with a cool drum beat on the toms. Do you remember? Mm-hmm. It's just kind of different from a lot of the other beats on the album, and that goes away once the instrumentation comes along.
I thought you would recommend these 3 songs, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't think I'd recommend 1901?
Oh, no, you're right. I thought 1901 was not Fences.
Okay, so I surprised you with one.
Yeah, I knew the first
because
one.
Because I knew 1901 big time.
Oh, okay.
And I knew that beforehand, and it's a good song. It's just
right.
It fits into the mold of the rest of this album for me, which I'll touch on later.
Okay.
Lasso, like I said, cool drum beat. It's faster than a lot of the other songs on the album, and I'd even go as far as to say much more rocky. There's not heavy guitar tones, but it almost sounds more rocky.
I would say it's more driven like a rock song, but
they don't have heavy guitars. They don't have rock melodies. But it sounds more rocky than the rest of the album.
Yeah, I was gonna say the melody's definitely not rock, but
I think the song's about honesty and trying to find somebody in the midst of being heartbroken. He's got that one line: "Forever is a long time when you've lost your way."
A long, long time when you lost your way.
And that could mean a lot of things, but in the context of the song, I think he means about being lost in your way of trying to find a significant other
or truth.
or truth, whatever. But in the chorus, he ponders if the listener, which is presumably a girl, you never know in today's progressive society.
True.
So I'll presume it's a girl, but who knows? Presumably pondering if the other person would find the singer and pursue them in love.
It's mutual, the
Yes.
feelings.
Well, maybe even not mutual if the other person would go out and pursue him. Because the chorus says, "Where would you go with a lasso? Could you run into me?" And they repeat the lines like, "Where would you go? Where would you go with a lasso?" And so it's like asking, would you pursue me? Would I be your love interest?
Would you go run into me? Yeah.
And so it's interesting. It's a
I like that song
interesting
too.
approach.
It's very, very good.
Good song.
Yeah.
On to song number 7, which is called Rome. That's right, like the place, Rome. Here's what I give it.
This is a good song.
This has the only rating that's not shoot or ladder.
Okay, yeah.
Step stool.
Step stool.
Because I really wanted to recommend this. And do you want to know why?
It's a good one.
The chorus is actually my favorite part on the entire album.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
The chorus is so good. But again, I couldn't recommend it. So it's not a ladder. It's not a shoot. Moving on to number 8 is countdowns, and then parentheses, sick for the big sun. I said the song's meh, and I gave it a ladder. Song number 9 is called Girlfriend. I said cool drums, ladder. Song number 10 is called Armistice, not bad, ladder.
Okay.
So overall,
so that's the whole album. Overall, yeah.
Overall, here's what I give this album. There's lots of songs that I almost like.
Okay.
There's not a song that really... It took me a long time to listen to this and find songs to recommend because nothing really stuck out to me that much at the beginning.
Okay.
And there's not any songs that I dislike either. Like, there have been other albums you've recommended where I was like, meh, no, don't like that at all.
It's obviously not going to be a recommendation.
Yeah, like, there's nothing I would dislike or nothing I wouldn't listen to, and there's not... I wouldn't even say the album's necessarily forgettable. It's just not a lot that stuck out to me initially.
Right.
I had to really force myself to listen to it to pick out songs that I liked better than the others.
So pretty much what you're saying is, if you were to listen to it again, those 3 songs or 4 songs, if you include Rome, are the ones that you'd come back to and listen to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a great background album. I would definitely have this on. Like if I'm
if
reading a comic book,
or like if you're at a party or
at
something.
a party, this is a great song to put on because I think it's something people would really. You can like tap your foot to it and stuff, but overall, it's not something I'd come back to just to listen to.
I gotcha. That makes sense.
I wouldn't call it a dud, but I wouldn't call it a success. This album for me.
Okay, for you, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I really
better than Broken
I really
Bells.
like it. Better than Broken Bells. Okay.
I remember when this album came out, I saw them play on SNL.
Yeah.
And then I remember seeing the album at Target for the next 3 years. It was like on display.
Yeah.
They loved it. But anyways, that's my recommendations and my review of Phoenix, Wolfgang Amadeus. Wolfgang. Let me say it as a true
German.
Austrian. Wolfgang Amadeus. Well, how would they say Phoenix?
It wouldn't have a PH, but...
What did Germans say for Phoenix?
I don't know what their German for Phoenix is.
All right, Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix.
Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix.
Yeah. If you guys haven't ever seen the movie, what's it called? Amadeus?
Amadeus,
Watch that. His wife called... Mozart's wife calls him Wolfie. Oh, Wolfie.
Oh, Wolfie, hello.
Yeah. It's a great movie. Absolutely fantastic.
Hello, Wolfie.
It's Academy Award winning. Watch it. And I will let you recommend your album now.
Okay,
but before you recommend, keep in mind, I will be keeping a tab of how many times you say essentially.
Yes, because if you guys have been listening the past weeks, there are quite a few times when I'm describing a song or describing a track or describing what's going on in a song or what I believe it's about, where I say, essentially, this is what it is. You can't count that one.
I won't count that one, but I'll count every single one that comes from here.
Okay, sounds good. This is the album Dookie by the band Green Day. I'm
any
gonna
background on this album?
Do I want to give any background?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I gave it earlier in the
About being
podcast.
monumental?
Yeah.
Setting the way for pop punk?
Yeah, setting the way for pop punk, both worldwide and also for them as a band.
There's one album two albums I think set the stage for this. Do you know what they are?
No.
First was Nirvana's Nevermind.
Okay.
Because that kind of took away the needing to really know your instrument and sing well to make a successful band.
Well, what about all the other bands in the 80s that came before Nirvana?
Did they have mainstream success?
At the time, no, I guess not.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's the thing. Nirvana opened the door for mainstream success for bands that didn't sing well, they weren't polished, they didn't know how to play their instruments as well as someone who could shred. So that opened the door for this. And then
Right,
the
that
first
makes
big
sense.
punk band, I would say, is The Offspring with their album Smash.
Okay.
And that kind of took it away. And then Green Day came out with this, and that blew open the floodgates. So without further ado, I want you to review it.
All right. I've got one statement to say right now at the beginning.
I got one thing to say.
I got one thing
Yo,
to say
pass
right
the
now.
mic.
Mike's already here, though.
You're right.
Okay. This whole album is like glue on my mind. It sticks. It's really catchy.
Can you imagine if someone sawed open your skull and poured glue into your brain?
That's what I'm saying. It'd be so sticky.
It would probably kill
It'd
you.
be so sticky.
No, I'm saying it would kill you.
Well, yeah, obviously, if someone cut up my brain and my head and poured glue on my brain, it would kill me.
Did you ever see the movie Hannibal?
No.
All right, never mind then. Let's just say there's something about a brain being exposed at one point in time, and we'll leave it at that. And Ray Liotta, I think, is who it was.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
On to track number 1, everybody.
I declare I don't care no more.
You're gonna do that the whole time, aren't
Only
you?
for a couple. I'll
Okay.
leave you to it because.
Well,
I'm
it's a good thing because I recommended this track.
Nice.
5 out of 5, everybody. It's called Burnout. I would say this is a great album starter. I believe it's basically about growing up,
Yeah.
and it's a very angsty song. Superb bridge.
I'd even say it's about fighting growing up.
Right, so growing
Yeah.
up, but
Fighting
during that process, you're
fighting
like,
the-
I don't want to grow up.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, it's it's really good though. I love this song.
The chorus is I'm not growing up, I'm just burning out, right?
Yeah, I'm just burning out.
Great chorus.
Yeah, most of the choruses in this song are great. That's why I said it's like glue in my brain.
Word.
It's like glue inside of my brain.
Insane in the membrane. He's got glue on the brain.
Yeah, glue on the brain.
Okay. What's that word for glue? A sticky
Adhesive.
Got glue on the brain. Adhesive on the membrane.
That almost works.
Crazy glue brain. Got no. It didn't work. It didn't work. I tried. Crazy go my. I can't. Just move on. Let's get out of there. It's a dead end.
Track number 2 is called "Having a Blast." I give this 4 out of 5. Moving on.
Oh yeah, because we're not gonna talk about the ones that are.
Track number 3 is called "Chump." 4 out of 5 as well. Most of the songs on this album I gave 4 out of 5.
But you didn't recommend this? I did not recommend it. Might recommend this over Longview just because.
I'll tell you why I like Longview so much.
Fair enough.
Okay.
But Longview was. I just really like the song "Chump." I think the chorus is great. I love how it leads into Longview, but take it away with your recommendation.
On that note, I love how Longview leads into the next song, "Welcome to Paradise."
Okay.
The transition.
Okay.
But regardless, the track number 4, I give it 5 out of 5. It's called "Longview," and just a note, the song is explicit.
Oh yeah, there's some potty words in there.
There are definitely a few words that should be in the potty.
Yeah, I guess. If you could tangibly rip out a word from the sky. If you said it and you catch it out of your thought bubble, toss it in the potty. Toss that in the potty.
I tossed this word in the potty.
If you're in a comic book and there's a word bubble above you,
Yeah.
you can reach up and grab that word and toss it in the potty.
I break the 4th wall and toss this word in the potty.
You're a potty word.
You potty word.
But this song's awesome.
It is a great song, Longview. It's super awesome.
Had you heard it before
Oh.
you listened to the album?
Great transition from previous song.
It does.
That's
It's
what I
got a
wrote, too,
segue.
as well.
Had you heard it before?
I don't think so.
I'm surprised. This is a big radio song too.
Awesome bass line. Ba-doom, boom, 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 boom. Also good bass tone.
About the bass line, their bass player, I don't know if I read it or I saw an interview where he was talking about taking a lot of drugs, and I think he took
I think
LSD.
that's what this song's about.
Well, it is, but he
Yeah.
wrote this bass line while on drugs,
Oh, really?
and after he was not on drugs anymore, he's like, "What? Oh crap! I wrote a great bass line. I can't remember it," and so it took him a long time to re-remember what it was.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad they re-remembered because it's an awesome bass line.
It is a great bass line.
Do, 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 do,
I also
do,
really love the words in the chorus. Sitting on the tube, or like talking about watching the tube, which is an old word for TV for you people who don't remember that
tube.
word. The tube. Like flipping through the channels, but nothing's on. Like I'll flip through the channels for like 2 hours or whatever.
This is the anthem of the 90s because that was the age of the latchkey kids. Like the kids who
that?
their parents would work and they'd come, instead of like
going
somewhere, they'd come home and be home by themselves because both parents were working.
Right.
And that was very prevalent here. And they're like being a latchkey burnout, watching TV,
Right.
not doing anything but sitting there watching TV, being bored.
And so, yeah, I really like that. A great chorus. And then also, there's one line where he talks about not having any motivation. He's like, I've got no motivation.
I've got no motivation.
Where is my motivation?
Smoking my inspiration. Ha!
Yeah. So I recommended this song as well.
Speaking of smoking his inspiration, do you know where they came up with the title Green Day?
I'm assuming it has to do with weed.
Green Day, yeah. Marijuana, weed, green.
Yeah, green, right.
So there you go.
There you
Green
go.
Day, the name was started on drug consumption.
There you go. And that was a fact from Steve, quote, 2017.
2017, Steve. What up?
Direct quote.
Anything
Anyway,
else about that song, or are you?
no, but the reason I wanted to talk about this song specifically is because he talks about like "Take Me to Paradise" in some of the lyrics, which I assume is meaning being high.
Yeah, or get him out of where he's at.
He's like, bite my lip and hold my eyes, take me away to paradise. So then the next song is called "Welcome to Paradise."
Oh, I never made that connection.
Really?
Never. I've listened to this album a million times, and I never thought about that connection.
The next song is "Welcome to Paradise."
And the song "Welcome to Paradise," I'm sure all of you heard it. It's a huge song.
Yeah, that's one reason why I'm not recommending that one, because I assume most people have heard it.
I would recommend you to listen to it again.
Paradise.
And this was re-recorded from their previous album, Kerplunk.
Okay.
But it's much more polished. It sounds way better on this album.
But regardless, I give it a 5 out of 5. And
But you still can't recommend it.
I didn't write it here, but I'm doing a new thing this week where I give hums.
What's that mean?
Honorable mentions.
Oh, nice. So that's a
Yep, I didn't write it down, but this is definitely a
Honorable mention.
It's an honorable mention.
Nice.
So, also I wrote down,
What
so
does that
good.
mean?
I just wrote down, so
You
good.
wrote that really big, so yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
so
great
good.
song. I guarantee most of you have heard the song.
Yeah, I would.
Anywho.
If you haven't, like,
But then again, this
come
song's
on.
got at least 4 singles that everyone's probably heard at least once.
yeah, and I'm gonna recommend one of them, but the other 2 that I knew before, I'm not recommending.
Okay.
The next song is
Well,
called,
like I said, there are 4 singles.
what were the 4 singles?
Longview
Oh, Longview was a single.
Welcome
okay.
to Paradise.
Okay, never mind.
She.
I know. Oh, She was?
and Basket Case.
Oh, okay. Oh. When I Come Around wasn't?
Oh, that was too. There's 5 huge selling singles.
say, what the
I'm
heck?
sorry.
Okay.
Forgot about this album's so monumental. I almost forgot how great it was.
Yeah, I know.
All right, I'll let you move on.
Track number 6, my least favorite track. It's called Pulling Teeth.
My least favorite too.
Definitely kind of a skipper.
Yeah, it's boring.
But I do really like the guitar tone on the solo. It's like really crunchy and gritty.
Do you think it's kind of like a surfy, weird, like out there song? But it's
Exactly,
not my
yeah.
cup of tea for the rest of the album. It's
Either
it's a skipper.
moving on.
Moving on.
Because it's a shoot
Mm.
by your rating. Track number 7, Basket Case. I wasn't going to recommend this song, but then I was like, I have to, because the first line and that melody is just so iconic, I feel like.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine?
I was going to do the harmony.
Or you do the harmony, I'll do regular.
I'll do the melody. You do the harmony.
I don't know the harmony.
Oh, okay.
Do you know the harmony?
No, but...
Or you do the melody, I'll do a harmony.
I was going to wing it.
I'll wing it. You go.
Okay. Do you have the time to listen to me whine about everything and nothing all at once?
That was good enough. I think you changed keys from when I sang it originally, but
Yeah,
who cares?
I did. Sorry about that.
That melody's fantastic.
It's so good, yeah.
Anything to say about the chord progression?
Well, you already know that it's...
Oh, I know.
You also told me that it's Pachelbel's canon.
I was leading with that question. It was loaded.
If you guys don't know what Pachelbel's canon, that chord progression is, you can probably look it up on YouTube. Like,
And in fact-
every song that uses Pachelbel's canon, and it's like so many pop songs use this same.
Pachelbel's Canon is a classic composition. It's played at weddings. You've heard it in a bunch of pop songs. We'll post a video below this called Pachelbel's Rant.
Yeah.
Remember, a comedian talks about how this is in every single pop song. And so we'll post it so you guys can give Pachelbel's Canon a listen and know that you have heard the song way more than you think you have.
Right, and do you happen to remember what the chord progression is?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. I don't remember it either.
Do, 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 do. Whatever that is, that's what it is.
Whatever that is. Anyway, this song is, I would say, basically about being a basket case, being crazy.
Literally being crazy, yeah. That's what it's about.
But anyway.
The music video is him at a mental institution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next track number 8 is She, and I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5 and a honorable mention.
She screams in silence.
Yeah. So good.
Nice turn, for sound-wise, at the beginning of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
on to track number 9, Sassafras Roots.
Roots?
Yes, Roots.
Yes, Roots. Sassafras Roots. For all of you who are not from Minnesota, he said Roots.
I thought this song was very, very interesting. It got a hum from me.
How's it go? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I know I like this song, but I'm drawing a blank.
I don't really know. I'm drawing a blank even though I just listened to it today as well. But it's a song about wasting time.
And I think you're sick and I want to go home. That's not it?
That's not it. No.
That's Coming Clean?
There's a song about wasting time.
I can't remember.
Wasting my time with me too. But anyway, it's a song about you're wasting time. And then he's talking to, I assume, a girl. You're also wasting time, so why don't we waste time together? And so it's very surprisingly existential in theme. So I really like that song. That's why I got a hum from me. The track number 10, you guys also probably know this song. It's called When I Come Around.
A huge song.
When I come around. Yeah.
Very recognizable song.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I played this in high school with one of my bands.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What was that band name?
Probably Identity Failure.
Okay, IF.
Yeah. I remember, we played at this thing, my high school every year did a auction for the Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And all the money we made, we would donate to the hospital.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Between the middle school and the high school, we usually made about $20,000, so it's substantial.
Holy crap.
It was a thing where they would auction off a pizza, and people would pay $100 for a pizza. That kind of thing. People would pull their money.
People would be like, this is for a good cause.
Yes.
I could buy a pizza for $5 somewhere, but I'll do it.
My mom would always give me $20 for the auction, and I would use it for something big. One year, me and my buddy John, we bought a case of Orange Crush out of bottles. We paid $40 or $50 for it.
Shout out to John Hartman.
Yeah, John Hartman. He's not going to listen to this, but whatever. But
that's okay.
They always had a band playing. In my junior and senior year, my band played, and we played this song in the audience. I remember it was the entire high school / middle school, and they all gave us blank stares. What are you guys doing up there? And it was the worst. I love playing, but they no one
That's
cheered.
Hilarious.
It was awful. And at the very end, I was like, "Thank you. You're a very lively audience." And me and my buddy John did a rap for it. We did a rap each year.
Yeah, you told me that.
We did Lazy Sunday and Ice Ice Baby, and then we'd auction off a personalized rap for the benefit of Children's Hospital.
That's pretty tight, man.
If you guys are donating to anything, I would recommend donating to the Children's Hospital of wherever your local state is. Because I know in Pittsburgh, for people who couldn't pay, they didn't take healthcare. They provided free service. Mm-hmm. It was a very great thing.
Kind of like St. Jude's.
Yeah, it's an awesome thing to donate to. So I'd recommend doing that. Maybe we'll post some links for that too.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, you could just Google it.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to track number 11. It's called Coming Clean. You like this song a lot, right?
Is it the one, when I think you're sick and I want to go home?
I believe so.
Okay,
I can't vouch for that, but it also got a honorable mention. A lot of these songs got honorable mentions because they're so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next song is my second least favorite song. Track number 12. Emonis Sleepus.
Eminus? Is it the all brown and no brains? Yeah.
I think.
No, that's in the end.
I don't really know, dude.
Isn't the song called In the End?
No, that's the next song.
Oh, then what's Eminus Sleepus?
Exactly.
Oh, I'm trying.
That's why I gave it 3.5 out of 5.
I'll have to listen to that after this podcast.
Because I didn't
really enjoy it that much.
Okay, in
Nothing
the end,
notable.
next
But
song
the next song, track number 13, it was also a honorable mention.
There's no brains, yeah.
Yeah, in the end, it's super. It's the fastest song in the
I don't
album.
care about the verses, but I love the chorus.
Yeah, so good. Anyway, the next song, track number 14, is FOD.
Which means F off and die.
Yeah, I was going to say you could guess what that means.
But no one's going to guess that. Because I didn't know what that meant until I heard the song.
FOD. FOD.
I love the...
It's a great song. It's also an honorable mention for me, so...
Let's take the prison that we burned out for so long.
Yeah.
It's very
just like
catchy.
a very normal,
Catchy
typical Green Day
song,
Green Day
yeah.
melody. Yeah.
It's so catchy.
Yeah.
Really well done.
But the last song, track number 15,
Which
is
is
called All By Myself, which
Bonus
is sang,
song, actually.
Which was, right.
I think you have to listen through a lot of silence or white noise after FOD to get to this song.
Okay. But it was sang by Trey,
The
drummer, right?
I was all by myself.
I was all by myself.
I think it's a joke song.
Really, really weird song. Very strange song. But so it's pretty funny though. And it has like a super weird guitar part. But overall, man, this album's really good though. I mean, obviously, whenever you recommended it to me, I was like, okay, it's Green Day. I'm gonna like it. So,
Okay. So
I would say that if you are looking for some good music, listen to either of these albums.
I'd say Green Day's better.
That's only
that's my taste.
you're biased.
I'm biased, but I listened to Phoenix for quite a while, and it's not something I can get into huge, like big time.
But you can still appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, the production was really, really good.
Yeah.
The songwriting was good. It's just not my favorite. I really don't dislike it at all. Like it's not something I would say, ew, gross, get that out of here. I like it. It's just not my favorite.
Yeah. But anyway, why don't we get into...
Actually, I don't... going back to the beginning of the podcast, I don't think I counted any essentials for you.
That's because I was very, very conscious about not saying essentially.
In that case, next week, I'm not going to bring up the essentially tally. I'm just going to do it.
Good idea.
Okay.
Try to do it secretly, though.
I will.
Keep in mind that I can see you
I know.
during this podcast.
Okay. So moving on to next week. You got a recommendation?
Yeah, let me describe these two albums for you, and then you can choose, okay?
Okay.
All right, one. Now,
I'm listening.
don't take your bias into this, because I know whenever I say one, you're going to be like, ooh, I want that one. Okay.
I'll try, but it's hard. It's easier said than done. You know
Okay.
that's true.
One, they're both folk albums, okay?
Uh-huh.
One of them is rich in harmonies. Not to say the other one is void of harmonies. So one of them is rich in harmonies, okay?
Yeah.
Both have more story-driven lyrics.
Okay.
One of them is more produced, and the other is more raw. So would you rather listen to a folk album that is raw, story-driven?
Can I ask you a question real quick?
No.
I have to ask you a
Just wait till I
question.
explain the second part. Or would you rather listen to... So would you rather listen to an album that is a folk album, which is raw, story-driven, or would you rather listen to a folk album that is story-driven, but also driven by harmony and production? Ask your question.
So the story-driven one is more.
They're
raw.
both story-driven.
When you say one was more story,
No, I said both are story-driven.
I have a hard time with raw sounding stuff. Let me go with more production.
Okay, sounds good. I have mine then. Give me your options.
All right. Do you want something? They're both punk rock. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, obviously.
Do you want something a little less melodic and more political-ish, or do you want something more melodic and influential?
I wonder what you mean by influential. Is that a good word to describe it? Which one is more current?
They're both around the same time.
What year?
90s, early 2000s. We'll say 90s, early 2000s.
Okay, give me the one that is less political.
All right, so that means we're going with The Offspring. Jeez, I've got a couple albums to... I'm going to go with Ixnay on the Ombre.
Ixnay on the Ombre.
And that's really hard for me to pick an Offspring album because their first album, Smash, is the most influential one.
Yeah.
My favorite of their albums is a much later album. This one kind of falls right in the middle. And it's got a wide variety of stuff that they played. So
Okay.
we'll go with Ixnay on the Ombre by the Offspring.
Okay.
And I'll be listening to...
You'll be listening to the album that is more harmony-driven and story-driven. Folk album. Fleet Foxes. Self-titled album, Fleet Foxes.
Oh, okay. I've heard of them because they were on SNL.
Okay.
Most of these, I feel like you and Yorma Tacome, or whatever his name is, would be good
Who?
buddies. He's in the Lonely Island.
Yorma Tacone?
Yes, Tacome.
Is that what
or
his name
Tacome,
is?
whatever his name is. He's in the Lonely Island. He's by Andy Samberg. Did
Yeah.
all the digital shorts.
Mhm.
I think he had some influence on who performed at SNL. But like the Decemberists performed there. Maybe not the Decemberists. Arcade Fire definitely did. Phoenix did. Fleet Foxes did. Like all these bands.
So
that
it was
you
more like Indian
yes.
folk, yeah.
So that's
Okay.
his style. And then, like a lot of the bands that you recommend, I've heard of because they were on SNL.
Oh, okay.
And they would post videos of them doing a sound check and Yorma dancing around to their sound check. It's kind of interesting. So, all right. So what do you say we finish our brews and give the cheers one more time? And sign
yeah,
off?
why don't we? Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So once again, my name is Stephen Johnston.
And my name is Jesse Titus.
Nice pause in between. But this has been American Brews and Tunes. Check in with us next week. And again, we actually forgot to say this, but look into our Spotify playlist. It's called
yeah.
American Brews and Tunes. And we're going to have another one called American Brews and Tunes Total. The one that says American Brews and Tunes Total will have every single album that we've ever listened to all put on there. The one that just says American Brews and Tunes will have the upcoming albums for next week.
Yeah, so essentially, there's one.
Essentially, there's one for you.
You'll be able to
listen along with us.
either listen to all the albums that we've recommended, or you'll be able to listen to the current albums that we are going to be talking about the next episode.
Yeah, so if you want to listen to what we're going to be listening to for next episode, so if you want to be caught up and engaged with what we're saying, listen to American Brews and Tunes. We'll share the links. It'll be out there. All you got to do is go into Spotify and search it. Tons of fun. So here we go.
Here we go.
Shibbity-beep-dow!
I didn't say it again. All right, here we go. Here we go. This is for real.
Here we go. Shibbity... Jesse, you are killing me.
I am. That's all right. All right. Again.
So here we go. Shibbity-beep-dow! Delicious.
So good. All right. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
We'll see you next time.
Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity-beeby-dow!